East Hartford. Last night we had a town council meeting, and here are the updates. Right from the top of the order, we had communications and petitions items, including the disposal of a fire truck, pretty much obsolete Seagrave pumper that obviously no other department has use as. It is past the point of repair, so we will be disposing of it. In addition to that, we did have our Public Works Department present a number of surplus vehicles that have been at their yard for some time. These vehicles will go to auction. That funding does come back to the town's general fund account. So next, going down to new business. From the top of the order, we had the approval of the collective bargaining agreement between the town of East Hartford and CSEAU, which is effective July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2029. So CSEAU is our town hall employees. This is the approval of their collective bargaining agreement. So that did pass, and we're very happy about it. Our next item is the two Board of Education facilities projects. One includes the HVAC replacement at the Goodwin Elementary School, in addition to the high school flooring abatement. In order to pursue both of these projects, both have to be added to the town's 5-year capital improvement plan. We have to appropriate the funds, and then they have to get referred to the Public Building Commission, which is a volunteer public commission that reviews all public building projects over $500,000. And so this will go to their commission for their review, their approval, and then the Board of Education can start that work. Moving on, we did have a request for a bid waiver, which is for the McAuliffe Park irrigation system. So there currently are areas that are not irrigated, certain fields at McAuliffe Park. And so this bid waiver does allow us to contract with Fournier Irrigation, who is an East Hartford company, to be able to install that irrigation at McAuliffe Park so that we can improve the playing fields at many of the fields that are down at that park. Our next item were two road reconstruction projects, which includes the Phase 4 of the Brewer Street reconstruction. This is 200 feet east of Jefferson Lane all the way to Forbes Street. So if you guys remember, we essentially did from Jefferson Lane all the way to Main Street, Route 5. So now we're doing the other half of Brewer Street. In addition to that, the Goodwin Street reconstruction project, which is from Route 5, Ellington Road, Main Street, all the way to School Street. If you live here, you know just as well as I do how bad that road is. And so that project is finally moving forward. In order to do so, the town council had to endorse both projects, which they did last night. Next up, we had a number of grant resolutions, starting with our State of Connecticut DECD Working Cities Grant. This was in the amount of $230,000. This is a grant that is going both to our library and our Health and Human Services Department. The grant will fund salaries and benefits for two full-time positions, a workforce development and digital navigation specialist at the library, as well as a youth employment specialist at our Health and Human Services Department, which is where youth services actually works out of. Our next grant was another State of Connecticut DECD grant, which was for historic preservations. This is in the amount of $200,000. This is a two-part grant. We're actually getting another $250,000 next year, and I want to thank our state delegation for getting us this funding. If this additional $450,000 is going to address the 3 historic properties at Martin Park, which includes the Goodwin Schoolhouse, the Blacksmith Shop, as well as the Huguenot House. So we're very thankful for our state delegation for getting us that money so we can continue to preserve our historic properties here in the town of East Hartford. Our next two grants were related to their police department, which was the annual Click It or Ticket grant. This is in the amount of $9,349. This is to pay for fringe benefits as well as overtime for our officers to do seatbelt enforcement. In addition to that, we have the 2026 Transportation Highway Safety Project Comprehensive DUI Enforcement Grant. This is an effort by the police department to enforce folks driving under the influence. This grant is in the amount of $29,383, and this is also to pay for fringe benefits as well as overtime for those officers to conduct this additional enforcement effort. Our next grant was the fiscal year 24 Assistance of Firefighters Grant. We have been successful in getting this grant for 4 years in a row, all the way back to 2021. It is in the amount of $182,213, and it is for training for our fire department. Almost done, folks. As we move down, our last couple items is a referral to pension and personnel subcommittee, and this is just for proposed revisions to our systematic pay plan for directors and non-bargaining employees. This includes everybody essentially that is not in a union. And this is just some language cleanup, as well as moving one of our non-bargaining unit employees into the director's categories where they will now be salary. Our next item is an amusement permit application. Very exciting as we move into the holiday season. This is for a holiday market and tree lighting. This is something we do every single year. That's planned and led by the Beautification Commission, partnering with the town of East Hartford. This is going to take place on Friday, December 5th from 4 to 8 p.m. on the town green. So come out. We'll have some wonderful decorations, a wonderful program for you guys as we celebrate the holiday season. And our last item was a request for a bid waiver from the fire department for emergent repairs to our fire apparatus. So this allows the fire department to engage 3 different vendors, all specializing in working on fire apparatus. These are the only folks that do this work. It allows us to contract with them for these repairs up to a certain amount. The amount is $40,000 for a majority of these, with one of them being $50,000. As I mentioned, these are the only people we can contract with who do this work on fire trucks, essentially. So this gives us the ability to contract with them in the event of an emergency to get our fire trucks back up and running as soon as possible and back out on the road. And in addition to that, we'll be going to RFP next to basically contract with these folks permanently so that we no longer have to pursue a bid. All right, my friends, that's all we have for you today. A lot on the agenda. For more information, visit the website. You can watch the recording, get additional details on the items we just talked about. Until then, I'll see you next time.